So this is our conversation about creativity, because this whole project involving many people from the West, from the East, concerns creativity as the main subject, and we are sharing ideas. And I would like to share my ideas, my experience from the last 14 years. And we started together because you are a much more creative person than I am, because you were able to create from a very old bus station a new space. Really, how did it happen? I only know my part.
I think you know better about it because I was happy to be involved in this project, but my earlier boss started it with you, who was, as I know, your friend.
Yes.
Wasn't he? So we just helped in the process, but what is interesting that we're still visiting the place and we can still see what's happening here, but I think we had a lot of ideas about this place, mainly because the area, the whole surroundings, and the space itself is so unique that you cannot find such a places everywhere in Budapest. I think there's only one or two like this.
That's right.
And let's do something with the light. And I think that was the main project, and how to conserve what is still valuable from the building. And I think we did the technical part, but you put everything in it. So what I really like about it is the gardening. That was a very special work, and I love the way my earlier boss Attila took the responsibility of the small parts. But the life itself came with you, I think. And I really remember the stories, how it began, how the neighbors reacted on this place.
Many times we think about creativity like designing a beautiful Tesla car or a fantastic Italian coffee maker machine. And what I experienced here, that creativity was necessary to convince the people to like this place, and not to oppose the idea that after long years of functioning as a noisy and dirty bus station, they were happy that for years it was closed, and to build confidence that when it will reopen, it will be a likable place, it will be a place that will welcome them, it will be a place for a new community to be born. And I think 14 years passed, and you're still visiting this place. In fact, your own architectural firm will celebrate its 10th anniversary here. So it shows that many times creative people feel very lonely, but you're never alone. You will always have friends. You will always find people who can dream your dream. And that is, for me, the core of creativity. You have a vision, you have an idea, and you can share it with someone. And people can flow on the same track, and I guess that's what happened with us.
Yes, and that it still can change. I mean, the core is the same, but it changes every day. I mean, the furnituring, the spaces, the people, the pictures on the wall, and I really like the way you act with it, but at the same time it remains the same place where we know what we get when we come, and that's funny, and it's really good that we have these roofs outside, so we can sit underneath them, and during the summer it becomes much more bigger, the space, not just a small shed, but with the whole surroundings, and that's what I really like in this place, that it works with the district. It's not an inserted subject or something, but it works together, it interacts. So I think that's the main word.
Change is really the most important thing that you have to react on in a very creative manner. You remember when we opened, it was the early bird here, and that was the difficulty at that time. Nowadays, there are many cafes in the area, and that is a new and difficult situation.
Yes.
First, nobody came here to have coffee because there was nothing around, and it was difficult to build up a very loyal clientele and community. Now the difficulty is to keep them, because there is Starbucks, new fancy cafes around, and being now a veteran from an early bird is also a huge change. And I try to still find our place, modify it as necessary. I make mistakes, many, Sometimes I start new things and people are not interested in it, and maybe years later it will pop up some other place and it's working. But thank God I didn't make huge mistakes. So we are still here and still alive. And to survive is definitely creativity in East Europe.